This is a breeder colony I've got. We're using some VSH or Varroa sensitive hygiene genetics. They're thinking about swarming, so she's shrunk down a little bit. They keep making cups, but she's still laying. So I've had to split them a bit. That's a queen that I instrumentally inseminated. That way we know who baby daddy is. But we basically just dig through here and look and find eggs that have just hatched, that aren't 24 hours old yet, that have never tasted worker mix, and those are the ones that we're grafting to raise into queens. We are here grafting out of that breeder we just took a look at, that AI breeder that carries VSH gene. But basically what we're looking for here are eggs that have just hatched, so the larvae are absolutely tiny, and the reason I feel strongly about that is because they haven't been fed worker mix yet, and so whenever you put them in a queen cup in a colony that's wanting to make queens, those are the ones that are going to be the highest quality. They don't start to become a worker and then have to change directions. If that's the case, their ovaries are usually less developed. They can't lay as many eggs. Colonies aren't as big. They're not as productive. So that's why you pay attention to your queen quality. But that's what we're doing here, is grafting high quality larvae young from good stock. We've already reworked this cell builder and took out any emergency cells. We've got fresh grafts here out of our VSH breeder, and all we're going to do now is set these grafts down in there. And then I usually use a hive top feeder just so I can feed them once and not worry about it. And they're pretty much good for the week. I usually fill up one side, so it's, probably 2 gallons or so, but fill up the feeder and give them a week, come back again, and repeat the process. Colony that was wanting to swarm, they were already making queen cells, so last week I just cut cells and I pulled the queen out, and I put grafts in it. It's the ready-made cell builder if your colonies are wanting to swarm and make queens. The only thing is 1 week later, sometimes you get a really good take, sometimes not, but either way, I just take whatever I get the first week, and then I go through this completely and cut out all the queen cells, and then we'll put another graft in. I guarantee you we'll get a way better take because there's no competition. There'll be no eggs or young larvae left, so they'll get all the attention. Too shabby, and that was the first round, so next round will be better, if it could be better. I think we've only got 1 miss here out of 40, so it doesn't get much better than that, but next week will be really good too. And that's how I do my cell building. They're basically large queenless cell builders, starter finishers technically. Me and Kyle just pulled a bunch of queen cells out of our cell builders here. This is the ones we got out of the main yard, so it's about half of what we're pulling today. But you can tell they're on, I graft into wide cell base cups. They're all JZ-BZ. So whenever we pull them at 1 week intervals so I can stay on a schedule. And basically they just come off the bar like this, and I put them in these little bitty cell protectors. That way whenever they start hatching, they're not killing each other. And then at that point, we'll check them. I know when they're gonna come out, and we put them in candy cages, and then they go back in the incubator, and within 48 hours or so you're going to want to put attendants in there with them. But this is how I store them. Nice neat little bars, and then we can put it in either incubator. They're both at around 92 to 93 degrees, and we add water for humidity. What we're doing here is we've got queens with attendants and candy cages, and we got them out of the incubator, and these are going next day air to various places, different customers. And I like to use these little JZ-BZ, super easy. They fit nicely, and the cages are slim, so they fit in tight spots, and it seems like that's the best way I found to ship them. And I just do next day air only, way easier on the bees.
UPS, FedEx.
UPS next day air. Yep. Okay, I'll hit the gas. Yep, perfect.
So you're using the CO2 to knock them out?
Yeah, it knocks them out, and it actually causes their ovaries to start producing eggs. So it kind of serves two purposes. Basically, I have to grab her stinger here with these pressure grips, which is just kind of a tiny pair of pliers. It can be tricky because sometimes they just retract it. And there's two, I don't know the proper term for them, but there's two fleshy pieces on either side of it. So you gotta be careful not to grab those. Okay, there we go. Okay.
So that's the tube with the semen.
Mm-hmm. And we want to give her like 10 microliters. Bless you. Okay. That's about 10 microliters. Okay. Pull just a little saline solution into the tip, because if you get it plugged up, it's a nightmare. While she's still out, this is where I go ahead and clip her and mark her. Those cool little discs you see, numbered discs. Makes the price of the queen go up substantially.
I thought they were already on there.
I just use this super glue gel. And it just takes a tiny little dot. Just trying to turn over. There, and that super glue seems to stay really good. Some of the kits send a rubber cement with them, but it's pretty crappy.
Okay, so what are you doing?
We're given these queens that we AI'd yesterday. So CO2 makes them start oviposition, or makes their ovaries start making eggs. And so yesterday we AI'd them, and so they get one treatment then. And this is the next day. We're giving them their second CO2 treatment just to make sure that they lay properly. And everybody goes to sleep. We leave them in there for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm terrible about setting a timer. I just kind of watch them for a bit, and after everybody's been unconscious for a little bit here, I'll open the bag and we'll just set them out, because it'll take them a little bit to wake up. But you can see everybody's out.